Good evening. Welcome to the first edition of the Movie Nook. Tonight we're going to talk about 4 separate musical movies. Now, I am new, so bear with me if I make any mistakes. Hopefully this won't be the last show, but who knows. Alright, so let's get started. The first movie we have to review is the movie we're going to review this evening, as you just seen by the poster, is The Blues Brothers. Now, it's got Dan Aykroyd, Jim Belushi, Carrie Fisher, John Candy, Johnny Lee Hooker, Aretha Franklin, James Brown, Godfather Soul. Who doesn't love James Brown? But in my opinion, it is one of the first buddy movies there is. You know, it's a set of brothers, troublemakers most of their lives, sent on a mission from God to save the church, or they took them in as they were orphans. Well, they have to go through, and basically the plot of the story is save the church by paying the back taxes. Well, seems like a simple job to accomplish. Well, to these two, it ain't. They go through a bunch of adventures and car chases, and well, especially the one car chase through the mall. You gotta watch it. It's unbelievable. I first saw it back in, well, probably 86, 87. I was 6, 7 years old. Came out in 1978. It's a good flick. Like I said, my opinion, it's one of the first guy buddy movies. I picked up a copy on DVD in Walmart at the $5 bin, and I'm sure you can find it at the $5 bin at Walmart as well, or local yard sale, or local trading DVD shop. But if you see it, it's a definite must pick. The next movie we're going to review is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know, some of you out there are thinking I might be a little weird for reviewing this movie with a man dressed like a woman. Well, you got to give it to it. Tim Curry is a man of many talents. He can be an evil dictator, he can be an evil genius, he can be a cross-dresser. Anyway, I first seen this movie maybe 12, 13 years old. It was one night, Halloween night. It was on VH1 Classics, of course. And I was like, wow, what is this? Why is this guy dressed like a woman? And it took, 2 or 3 viewings of this movie to get through it. Well, of course, the man I'm talking about being dressed as a woman is Tim Curry. I know you've seen him throughout time and a bunch of other movies. He always plays bad guy, or he always plays just a real quirky character, especially in the movie Clue when he played the butler. It's also got Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick. Oh, and not to forget, the man Meatloaf, who has several tracks on the soundtrack to this movie. The big one is the Saturday Night Fever, where he comes busting out of the freezer with part of his head cut off. It's one of those odd movies. You've got to have a real open mind to be able to take all of this movie in. But I think you might thoroughly enjoy it. It's good for a good laugh. Not many people are into it, and yes, it is a musical. Well, that's the theme for the show. But I think it was worth it. I picked this up in, I think it was like a yard sale, I believe. I picked it up for like $2 or $3. But it's definitely well worth it, especially if you ever go see it in a multiplex theater live, where they encourage to dress up. I mean, people show up like characters, and at certain points in the movie, you're supposed to throw things like toast, buttered toast at the screen, and scream certain things. But I definitely recommend this. It's definitely good for a good laugh. Now, on to the next movie. The next movie I'm going to review for you is Crybaby, starring Johnny Depp, Tracy Lords, Ricky Lake, and the immortal rock legend Iggy Pop. Well, this is kind of like a Grease offshoot, some of the old Elvis Presley bad boy movies. Johnny Depp plays this troubled teen in the 50s in Baltimore named Crybaby. He's got a tattoo of Tear Chop, and he's got an electric chair tattooed on his arm, memorial of his father. Well, he's after the head cheerleader type girl in this movie. Well, he goes through all the adventures against the people called the Squares, which is, part of the group that the head cheerleader is in. Well, the torrid romance is almost like a modern day type, but set in the 50s, like a Romeo and Juliet forbidden love. But it's got heavy elements of Grease, but it's very rock and roll inspired. I mean, why couldn't it be a rock and roll inspired movie? I mean, it does have Iggy Pop of all people in it. Like I said, it's a cheap Grease knockoff. It was okay. Johnny Depp's performance isn't very stellar. But then again, it was one of his earlier movies. There's a few little laughs in it. But the most memorable laugh for me was when one character named Hatchet Face comes busting out of the movie screen in The Boys' Home. Other than that, that's about the only, just real memorable moment from the movie. If you see it on TV, it may be worth checking out, maybe worth your, hour and 40 minutes, but I wouldn't buy it. Okay, the fourth and final movie that I'm going to review on this episode is, well, I mentioned it in the movie before. Now we're going to review Grease. There isn't anything bad I can really say about this movie. I mean, it's got an all-star cast that were in their prime at the time of filming. I mean, it did come out in 1978, so it's a little bit older than I am. I mean, how can you go wrong with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John being the two, co-lining stars, I can't really trash this movie. As much as I really don't like it, I can't trash it for its cinematic quality. Everyone in there did an amazing job. The music is right. The choreography on the dance is right. And I know all you ladies love it. Believe me, I've known enough who gaga over this movie. But I just really can't trash it as much as I really want to. There isn't much else to say. If you find it anywhere, it's a definite buy. I've watched it several dozen times myself. I mean, not that I really want to admit that, but I'm just admitting it for you at home, for the millions of Americans and international people that probably will watch. And other than that, that's probably going to be the close of our show. I am Mr. Movie. Thank you for watching. Check back later for more updates. I'm hoping to do another show really, really soon. If you can't get enough reviews, check out my friends over on the Game Nook. I know they're working on developing some new episodes right now as we speak, and some in the near future. So check back with me, check back with them, and we'll see you next time. Good night.